Yo, what is going on guys and girls, Twintendo here. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about returning to Blue and Red Rescue Team's dungeons. So if you guys didn't know, I did a trailer breakdown with the second Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, and it looks like you'll be returning to the Blue and Red Rescue region. If you haven't seen that video, that will be on screen now, make sure you check it out. And basically, what we can see is on the map, on the right hand side, we can see an exact identical region compared to the Blue and Red Rescue Team's region. So if you guys see the comparisons, very similar, very cool. I'm not sure many people have pointed this out, but it's very, very interesting. And I kind of been predicting this. We made a little video and it was about whether Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon was going to be a remake, and this was before any gameplay was shown. So it's not a remake, but it kind of has remake elements in it. So, you know, take it as you would. But yeah, guys, what do you think of going back to these dungeons, past dungeons from Blue Red Rescue Team? Comment down below. And yeah, let's get into this video. So first of all guys, the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue and Red Rescue Team, will be 10 years old this year in Japan. And that's kind of the reason why I thought it could be a remake. You know how main games are remade every 10 years, or give or take, you know, a couple of years. So Fire Red and Leaf Green came 10 years after the originals. Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out 10 years after, and as we know, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire took a little longer, but that was because the 3DS wasn't ready to have a Pokemon game on it. Could talk about that for ages, but I won't. So going off this idea that it was going to be a remake, it would make sense to include old dungeons in this new game, just because it is 10 years old, and I think people would like to see it again. Whether Explorers of Time and Darkness dungeons come back to the game is another question. They might leave it for the next Mystery Dungeon game. Who knows? Personally, I'd love to see them again, but you know, I can wait another game as long as they're in another game, I'd say. So when will we get to go to this region? Will it be pivotal to the plot? I mean, if we think about the plot, what we know so far is that Pokemon are being turned into stone, even legendary Pokemon are. It would make sense maybe if you play the originals, might, you know, spoil a bit here, so if you haven't played them and you want to play them, just skip through this. But basically, in the originals, you go and talk to Ninetales, or, you know, it's kind of like part of the main story that Ninetales has put a curse on the human Pokemon. Turns out it's not the human Pokemon, but maybe they're trying to, you know, get help from Ninetales or another legendary Pokemon that was in that game. Maybe it's pivotal to plot, or maybe it's something once you finish the game you can go there, kind of like an epilogue, I don't know. Honestly, I'm either happy with any of them, to be honest, but I'm also looking forward to the new region, because this region could be even better than the previous two. Previous three, technically. There was Gates of Infinity, but I tend to forget that game for good reasons. If we're going back to past places from Blue and Red Rescue Team, what places would they be? I made a little list. If you guys have played the games, you might know these. So first of all, I've gone for Pokemon Square. It's the central hub. It's like Treasure Town and Post Town from Gates of Infinity. Basically just like the main area in the game. You can buy stuff from shops and stuff. It's quite nice. Not as good as Treasure Town, but it's still a very good kind of little area. Second, I've gone for Tiny Woods, just because you can see it on the map on Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeons trailer, just that kind of foresty area, the darker kind of area. So that's Tiny Woods there. Sky Tower, that's where Rayquaza is, who's like the final boss in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue and Red Rescue Team. And we could verse maybe Mega Rayquaza there, because, you know, obviously Mega Evolutions should be in this game. We don't know for certain, but I'd be very surprised if they're not. And we may, you know, like I said earlier, have to see Ninetales for whatever plot related reasons, or just, you know, you can go to the same area as Ninetales. But yeah, they're the four areas that I kind of thought you could go back to. Obviously there might be quite a few more, and guys, if you have played the originals, comment down below which areas you'd like to see, you know, what areas you'd like to go to again, whether it's from Explorers of Time and Darkness, Blue Red Rescue Team, even Gates to Infinity. But yeah, let's move on to Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky, whether, you know, those areas will be in the game. Now, we can see Lapras take off from, you know, a certain area on the map here. And first of all, the first question we ask, is that the same Lapras from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers Time and Darkness? Personally, you know, I always see Lapras as like the generic surfing Pokemon. But it could be, you know, it could be the same Lapras. I never really thought about it that way. And it kind of sets off from a similar position to where Treasure Town would be if you inverted the map from Explorers of Time and Darkness the other way. So the map's not identical, but I will give credit to Gyro Master for pointing this out to me. Basically, they flipped the map of Explorers Time, Darkness and Sky the other way and kind of compared it. It's not identical. There are some similarities that are quite striking that makes me think, could it, you know, they would have had to design the region a bit more differently, but could it be the same region? Personally, I think that might be the new region, but it's quite nice to see it is a very similar position to where Treasure Town would be. And there's a little area at the bottom left that looks like Blizzard Island from Explorers Time, Darkness and Sky. So again, it's not exactly the same shape, but it's kind of a snowy mountainous area, kind of island, so who knows really. But apart from that, guys, that's all I've got to say on this. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't seen our 2 previous videos, they are on screen now. On the left you can watch the second trailer breakdown if you have not seen it already. On the right video you can see the town square in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon talked about in more detail, basically talked about the shops. You guys have got some great ideas for what Horlucha's shop would be, because there were 4 shops and I could only really identify 3 of them. If you think you have an idea, comment down below on that video. And yeah guys, if you haven't subscribed already, you can click that big red button where Trico is, make him happy, you know, do it for the Trico love. And yeah guys, I will see you on the next video. Sorry for the stupid outro, but yeah, have a good day guys, I'll see you later.